I am a firm believer in ask and you shall receive. I am also a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And I believe that because that's been my story. That's been my reality. And I'm almost 50, and it's been the story of my life is ask and you shall receive. And everything is meant to be exactly the way it is. And so when I say that, there's these two energies that I work with. And that is the avatar, which is the creatrix, which is the one that creates our own reality. And then there is the kind of more Buddha energy, the more acceptance of the way things are. So more of letting go and surrendering and allowing things to be. And I believe that the two energies work together. They dance with each other. And so, this is the co-creative conscious creation part of manifestation, which I have been working with for a number of years, that really works. So it's being able to ask and receive, but also to let go and surrender to the highest and best good. And so wanted to come on here and say happy holidays, season's greetings. We are coming upon a brand new year, letting go and surrendering what no longer serves, and letting go of 2022 and saying hello to 2023. So getting really clear on what you want to consciously create, what you want to manifest. So before asking and receiving, getting really crystal clear on what it is that you do want and why. And so I just wanted to come on and, we are in the process of moving from Sweden to New Zealand. Everything's in boxes and we're a week away from departure. But, it's really interesting because I want to share this story, and I teach in stories. And really, when you hear a story, it makes it real. It's not just a theory. It's not just, something you read or saw in The Secret, but it's an actual real story. So, we were living in New Zealand and we're happy and, living in our dream home and everything's great. And so we had some friends come over for dinner, and, this little box, I'll show you, it's just this tiny, tiny wee box, was given to me by a good friend when I was going through quite a lot. My sister had been in an accident and things were very uncertain. And when things are uncertain and when there's an accident or something that is out of our control, then it puts you in, well, at least it puts me in a position of feeling like I'm out of control, and that I don't, that I'm not a creatrix, and that I'm not a manifestor. And, it feels like life is happening to you. And it felt like life was happening to me at that stage because it was out of my control. My sister had been hit by a car, and there was a lot of turmoil, and it was really frightening and really scary. And this friend gave me this little box, and everything in the box, and I'll show you. I understand. There's an angel, little angel. There's a little crystal, little tiny crystal, and another little green stone there. And for years, I didn't understand what these little dice were. So there's these two little tiny dice, little teeny dice. There's two of them. They're so little. And they were inside the box too. So we had some friends over for dinner, and I showed them the box because I just found it. I couldn't find it for the longest time. And then I always seem to find it right when I need it. So I found it, and I was saying to these friends, I understand everything in the box. I understand the angel. I understand the crystal. And it was a mutual friend, so they know this friend, and he's very he's like a shaman, of sorts, a magic man, and he gave this to me. He made this box up, by the way, and he gave it to me as like protection and healing and help and support through this time that I was going through. And he even put the little heart sticker on there, which I think is so beautiful. And so I've kept it for years. And I just kept going, well, what do the dice mean? And I said to these friends, I just don't know what the dice mean. And a week later, my husband was offered a job in Sweden working for a company called Dice. And I said to the friends, I was like, I know what the dice mean now. It's meant to be. And, I want to add to that is that working for Dice was actually a dream of my husband's. And so, he always wanted to work for them. He always wanted to work for them because it's his favorite game company. And so, a reminder that dreams come true, even when you're not like totally going after them. Like sometimes they just happen. And, and energy follows energy was a dream of his to really, work for his favorite game company. And so it was just like so amazing that these dice, that were given to me years before. And, the dice got rolled and my husband's dream came true. And so what a beautiful story, like a real story of this dream coming to fruition for my husband. And on top of that, when we were packing up to go, I started to go, is this the right thing? Again, I ask and you shall receive. I asked, okay, God, Goddess, tell me, give me a clear answer. Is this really meant to happen? And then about an hour later, I'm going through some stuff in a box and I find this USB storage, drive. And it's Battlefield 4. It's the company Dice. And I bring it up to my husband and I said, is this yours? And he goes, oh, I've been looking everywhere for that. It's been missing for years and you just found it. Thank you. And so it was his and it had been missing again, just got thrown in a box and, we move around a lot. And so it was found exactly in the moment that I, 1 hour after I asked for a sign, and it was the company Dice. And so, it's just amazing. Ask and you shall receive, and everything happens for a reason. It's just so magical. And again, I was recently asking, and I ask for a lot of signs from the universe, and in the universe again, we found this little Yahtzee. It's a little tiny, or Snakes and Ladders. That's right. It's a little tiny game. And, the kids have, and all the pieces were missing, and all that was inside were 2 little dice. And so, I feel like it was meant to be on so many levels that my husband's dream came true. And it was always my dream to come to Sweden because I have family roots in this area, actually in Amsterdam. And it was, meant to be on so many different levels and layers that, some of it was conscious creation, but some of it was, again, that magical, surrendering and letting go and being open to what is. And so it really is a dance, co-created dance of being in the driver's seat, but also letting go and surrendering and not being in the driver's seat. And that is where the magic is. We may not always be in control, and we may not always get to decide, what's happening in our lives, because sometimes people die and some people get into accidents that we love. And, a lot goes on in the world, and a lot goes on in each and every family. And in those moments, there is support. In those moments, there is guidance. And in those moments, there is medicine balm. And my medicine balm was in this little box. And then the little dice were a bit of an oracle, a bit of a sign that this was the next phase and journey in our lives. And I'll tell you what, for me personally, when I've had signs like that, it helps ground me in the moment and helps me understand that everything is meant to be for a reason and that I'm on the right path, going in the right direction. And I've really needed these little dice because, we arrived and then the pandemic hit 1 month later. And so we were in a foreign country with no friends, no family, no community. And, it was tough and it was uncertain. And, we've been here for, well, almost 3 years. And, I then, unfortunate circumstances again are leading us into a full circle of going back. We thought we were going to be here in Sweden for quite a while, and there's been some, personal reasons of why we have to go back. And I started to ask the universe again, like, is this really what we're meant to be doing? Are we meant to be going back to New Zealand? Like, can we get some answers here? Because we really love Sweden and there's a lot, and my husband works here and he's, continuing to work here, and we might be separated for a while, and just a lot of uncertainty around everything at the moment. And so I'm asking, really, like, is this meant to be? And again, I lost this little box and it just turned up. It's been lost for 3 years and it just turned up again. And I think, okay, wow, that must be a sign, but there's more. Then I'm, again, questioning, like, is this the right thing to do? That's a big decision to move your whole family to the other side of the planet. And so I asked, is this the right direction of where we're supposed to be going? And I got this. It's my keys to my house in Island Bay with it pointing to Island Bay. Now, that is a very clear message. I love the universe. You just got to love its sense of humor. I mean, I haven't seen these since I left Island Bay. I lost them and I just found them while I was going through stuff. And it's like, okay, here we come. It's a very interesting life. And I wanted to come on and just share my story with you to, help you understand that, yes, you are a co-creator. Remember, you're a co-creator. And everything really is happening for a reason. And so sometimes we think life is happening to us, and we can get into this spiral, this downward spiral of depression, of upset, of a lot of different feelings that don't help us. And I love, Tony Robbins always says life is happening for us, not to us. And in these moments where things aren't going the way that we want them to go, it can feel like life is happening to us and not for us. So it's in retrospect, when we get to the other side of it all and we go, that was the meaning, that was the purpose, that was the teaching, that was the medicine balm, and then we learn, okay, I was meant to learn and grow. Because, if we were sitting on a tropical island drinking pina coladas, we wouldn't grow. That's not when we grow. Our growth spurts, our transformations, our healing, our wisdom come from the hard times. They come from when we get stretched, when we get challenged. And so if you're having a difficult time, this season, I know the Christmas holidays can be really difficult for a lot of people. I just want to send a message of hope and understanding and a reminder to each and every one of you to look for the signs, look for the magic. There's always magic around us. And, they say magic happens to people that believe in magic. I've always believed in magic, and I've believed in magic because I live a magical life. Like, magic happens to me, and I've always been open to it. I've always been, connected to God, Goddess, the spirit realm, and open to synchronicity, open to signs and symbols and mystery. And therefore my life is really magical. And so I invite you to allow the magic to come in. And so, again, this little box, it's so cute. And this little angel, my guardian, the little crystal, and the little dice, the dice, the roll of the dice, not just the company that my husband works for, but like, rolling the dice, being open to the mystery, being open to allowing fate and free will to intersect at a cross section where, you are in control, but you're not at the same time. You're creating, you're dreaming. Our reality is based on our beliefs and based on our dreams and our aspirations. And then, of course, making them, come true. But, this is a new year. New year, new you. So what are you wanting to create? If you could roll these dice, they're so tiny. If you could roll these dice and create your dream life, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And start to have fun with it. Start to dream, start to envision. And I invite all of you to join me in my 7-week Manifesting Your Most Abundant Life, a life of your wildest dreams. That's going to be when I get to New Zealand, and I'm only taking 13 lucky people to work with me. And, that's going to give you tools, and I'll be working with you personally in the 7-week to really clear out any old beliefs, any stuck old paradigm stuff, and just clear it all out so you can really open yourself up to manifesting and creating a life of your wildest dreams. So if you're interested, get in touch, and I look forward to meeting you. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Happy New Year. Let's all envision together an incredible year full of magic, full of alignment, full of healing and transformation, and full of light and abundance of all the things that we want in the highest and best good for ourselves, our friends, our family, and our community. So much love. Mwah, mwah, and new paradigm priestess blessings.